Welcome to Everything English. You have 20 seconds to answer each question. Write your scores in the comments below. Number 1. Short words or phrases that express emotion gestures, e.g., well done. Is it A. Regular verbs, B. Irregular verbs, C. Reflexive nouns, or D. Interjections? The answer is D. Interjections. 2. Words that have both the past simple tense and past participle forms constructed using the suffixes D and ED. Is it A. Regular verbs, B. Irregular verbs, C. Reflexive nouns, or D. Interjections? And the answer is A. Regular verbs. 3. Verbs that cannot stand alone. They need a main verb. Is it A. Regular verbs, B. Irregular verbs, C. Modal verbs, or D. Auxiliary verbs? And the answer is D. Auxiliary verbs. 4. Verbs that add more than just grammatical meaning. They express ability, permission, or give advice. Is it A. Regular verbs, B. Irregular verbs, C. Modal verbs, or D. Auxiliary verbs? And the answer is C. Modal verbs. 5. Replaces the noun in object position. Is it A. Pronouns, B. Object pronouns, C. Proper nouns, or D. Common nouns? The answer is B. Object pronouns. 6. When a word or sentence is said the wrong way, leading to confusion. Is it A. Determiners, B. Grammar, C. Pronunciation, or D. Accent? The answer is C. Pronunciation. 7. The way in which words are used, classified, and structured to form coherent spoken and written communication. Is it A. Determiners, B. Grammar, C. Pronunciation, or D. Accent? And the answer is B. Grammar. 8. A verb that has been transformed into a noun. For example, act, action. Is it irregular verbs, B. Nominalization, C. Modal verbs, or D. Filler? The answer is B. Nominalization. 9. Words that makes nouns more specific. Is it A. Determiners, B. Proper nouns, C. Pronoun, or D. Filler? The answer is A. Determiners. 10. Replaces the object of the sentence when the subject and the object refers to the same thing. Is it A. Reflexive pronoun, B. Object, C. Pronoun, or D. Subject? The answer is A. Reflexive pronoun. 11. Replaces the noun in subject position. Is it A. Reflexive pronouns, B. Object, C. Pronouns, D. Subject? The answer is D, subject. 12. Verbs that do not follow any spelling rules when their past simple tense and past participle forms are constructed. Is it A, irregular verbs, B, filler, C, modal verbs, or D, action verbs? And the answer is A, irregular verbs. 13. How many parts of speech are there? Is it A, 8, B, 6, C, 7, or D, 10? The answer is C, 7. 14. Tense used to express habits, facts, and timetable. They are formed by the verb plus S. Is it A, future perfect tense, B, past continuous tense, C, present simple tense, or D, past perfect tense? The answer is C, present simple tense. 15. Tense used to express finished events. They are formed by verb plus ed or D. Is it A, future perfect tense, B, past continuous tense, C, past simple tense, or D, past perfect tense? The answer is C, past simple tense. 16. Tense used to express an action that will be completed in the future. They are formed by will have plus verb plus ed. Is it A, future perfect tense, B, present continuous tense, C, future simple tense, or D, past perfect tense? The answer is A, future perfect tense. 17. Tense used to express something that is happening in the present moment and future arrangements. They are formed by is, am, plus verb, plus ing. Is it A, present simple tense, B, present continuous tense, C, future simple tense, or D, past perfect tense? The answer is B, present continuous tense. 18. Tense used to talk about events that began in the past and are still happening in the present. They are formed by have or has been plus verb plus ing. Is it A, present simple tense, B, present perfect continuous tense, C, future simple tense, or D, past perfect tense? The answer is B, present perfect continuous tense. 19. Tense used to express something that happened before another event in the past. They are formed by had plus verb plus ed. Is it A, future continuous tense, B, past continuous tense, C, future simple tense, or D, past perfect tense? The answer is D, past perfect tense. 20. Tense used to express something in progress at a certain moment in the past. They are formed by was or were plus verb plus ing. Is it A, future continuous tense, B, past continuous tense, C, future simple tense, or D, past perfect tense? And the answer is B, past continuous tense. 21. Tense used to express an intended action, make a prediction, state future facts, make promises, or offer to do something. They are formed by will plus verb in the simplest form. Is it A, future continuous tense, B, future continuous tense, C, future simple tense, or D, past perfect tense? The answer is C, future simple tense. 22. Tense used to express an unfinished action occurring in the future. They are formed by will be plus verb plus ing. Is it A, future continuous tense, B, future continuous tense, C, future simple tense, or D, past perfect tense? And the answer is C, future simple tense. 23. Tense used to express an unfinished action occurring in the future. They are formed by had been plus verb plus ing. Is it A, past continuous tense, B, future continuous tense, C, past simple tense, or D, past perfect continuous tense? The answer is D, past perfect continuous tense. Thank you for watching. I hope you subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you're notified every time I post.